Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Med School Minutes podcast, where we discuss what it takes to attend and successfully complete a medical program. This show is brought to you by St. James School of Medicine. Here is your host, Kaushik Guha.
Hello. Welcome to Med School Minutes. And today, this is a special episode where we are highlighting and showcasing our successful match students. Today, we have two very special guests with us. I will let them introduce themselves. Why don't we start with Parag?
Sure. I'm Parag Badami. I went to Bonaire, finished on the island in December 2015, December 2015, and graduated in July 2021.
Awesome.
Well, hi, my name is Nicolas Jaeggi, and I graduated in March 2020, and I match in family medicine.
Fantastic. Well, thank you guys so much. So why don't I start with you, Nick? Tell me about the pre-match jitters. Were you confident? Were you in two minds?
So it was really hard. So it's my third time applying for match. And so I've gone through SOAP a few times. Really stressful. So that email came in at 7:59. And I was with my wife, Franca, and we were ready to SOAP. We both had our computers open. We're ready to, go through that list. It was really stressful. And then 8 o'clock hit. Well, 7:59 hit, got that email. I was super excited, super happy.
Awesome. How about you, Parag?
Super huge jitters. I think we woke up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, tried to go back to sleep, couldn't go back to sleep. At 6 o'clock, we were finally like, forget it. Let's just get out of bed. Ordered bagels just to calm our nerves a little bit. And then, 7:59 on the dot.
All right.
Saw it on my phone, or rather on my watch, and said congratulations. And I immediately freaked out.
So define freak out. What was that? Jumping up and down, getting drunk, blackout, fainting? What did freak out mean?
Actually, it was going back to sleep. Because just like Nick, we were ready to SOAP. It's a very stressful process. I don't know if you remember from last year, the entire system went down on Monday during that first day of SOAP, which is kind of nice in the way they changed the schedule of it. But like we were ready to jump on both laptops and start checking out which programs, checking the unfilled list. And we literally slept 3 hours that night. So going back to sleep was a nice reward for getting that match.
I hope you guys are making up for all the lost sleep now, at least.
Oh, yeah. I've gotten 7 hours from the entire week. Yeah.
That's awesome. So if I'm not mistaken, the programs will all start around June end, early July. What are your plans, Nick, from now through July? What are you planning to do?
So I'm going to try to study as much as I can to be prepared.
Study?
As much as I can.
Does your wife know about this? I don't think she's going to appreciate that very much. You need to take her out on a nice vacation.
Enjoy life a little bit.
Yes,
Enjoy life
do.
a little bit. Okay, I'll try it. In between studying breaks.
So you're studying for step 3?
For residency.
Yeah. So just generally you want to be prepared.
Correct, yeah.
Okay. But definitely.
We'll enjoy life.
Yeah,
of course.
And what about you, Parag?
We, like you said, enjoy life. We have our Chicago bucket list to go through before we leave. But I will be taking step 3 in the end of April, beginning of May.
Okay.
So I'll be studying for that one.
Okay. Wow, you guys just, can't catch a break, can you? Gluttons for punishment.
That's being a doctor, right?
I
like
know.
there is no breaks.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
stopping.
I mean, and that's the funny thing. I actually, as I was mentioning earlier to you guys, I went to the island and I was telling some of our students that you practically have to study for 9 to 11 hours until you get into residency. And most students revolted. They're like, oh, no, that's not even real. I was like, no, that is very, very real. If you're not prepared to do that much of work, there really isn't a place for you in any residency program in that case. Would you agree or disagree?
I absolutely would agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, I think at some point it just becomes part of your routine.
Okay.
You're just waking up to study and you're going to bed, but it just becomes part of your routine. So it's easy to, study.
Okay. And let me ask you guys this. With such an arduous task that you guys accomplished, how much does an emotional safety net matter in this situation? Can you just do this alone, or do you need family, friends? I mean, how does that help? Let's start with you, Nick.
You need a support system, that's for sure.
Okay.
And I'm, lucky enough to have Franca, my wife, and she goes through med school too. And so, she understands the process, and that really helps.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And how about you, Parag?
Absolutely the same. My wife Megan helped me do all my personal statements. She helped keep me on task for everything. She would joke that she would be my manager as well whenever I was being slow with stuff. But yeah, having that personal connection, having someone at home to be able to complain to be able to enjoy things with is a huge difference maker. We actually just got married last year, so
okay, congratulations.
Thank you so much. It really does, like, I've lived both sides of that, being single, not having anybody to come home to, not having anybody to help you out with like chores or making food or just enjoying life. And it was a very solitary confinement kind of lifestyle, and it kind of sucked. Awesome. Especially compared to right now, where if we want to go get dinner, we can go get dinner. If we want to just eat at home, if we want to just sit on the couch and watch TV, it's a nice break from things, as opposed to before, where I was always in front of a computer. I was always trying to study something, always going through Anki cards, and the only real support system I had was back home in New Jersey, where my family was.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, it's really good to hear that. So both of you said that you guys were involved with SOAP at some point. And I know that not everybody is fortunate or lucky or just doesn't get to match in the first time round. What did you guys do to manage expectations for the years that you didn't get through, and then the years that you and then how are you preparing to pick up the pieces to prepare for the next year? I know it can't be easy. This is and I think kudos more to you guys, just because you picked up the pieces, got back on track, and made a success out of it. I've heard it's harder to do that, but tell us what you guys actually like. How hard was it?
It was pretty hard. I think you have to trust the process. You've been working hard for so many years. Things are going to work out. But it was really hard, and I think going back to that support system, I think that was also really important.
Okay. And what about you, Parag?
Oh yeah, it was emotionally devastating.
Right.
I think that first month afterwards, I did literally nothing last year the first time I tried to match.
Okay.
Super depressed, couldn't even bring myself to read articles. This year was a little bit different because you're ready for that and you try to kind of kick yourself. And Megan kind of made fun of me for this. I taped my rejection letter to my TV just to kind of kick my ass, to make myself emotionally ready, to be like ready for Monday morning, just in case. And then to also kind of, kick my butt to get stuff done the few weeks beforehand to prep for it. Cause you don't want to prep for SOAP because it means that you failed.
Yeah.
Or at least you think you failed. You haven't, but it is kind of like one of those types of feelings where you feel like you're a failure. You're not going to want to do anything, but you need to do something because you don't have the time to coddle yourself.
That's brilliant. That's all practically like vision boarding, but the opposite. You're like putting something that you don't want to see in real life up and be like, I don't want that. That is brilliant. That is amazing. And what advice would you guys have for somebody who didn't match, say, this year? And it's probably just their first time, because it seems like the first time is the hardest for most people. What advice? Because, one thing is that St. James has a counseling program where we actually recruit students who haven't matched. And the good news is that this is the 6th year running. We have about 3 to 4 counselors every year. Every single one of them matched the following year. So a lot of people go ahead and do certain things. Some of them just don't do anything and just sit there and prepare. So what would your suggestions be for somebody who didn't match this year?
Just keep doing, and anything that's related to the medical field.
Okay.
Either if it's research or education or counseling. I think it's important to stay active in the field.
Awesome. And
my biggest thing would be to be open to criticism. Like, know what you did, if you did anything wrong, what you did wrong, how you can change that. Yeah, a lot of the time it is not having enough experience in the medical field, which you really want. Sometimes it's you had a grammatical error in your personal statement that was blatant, obvious, and kind of dumb. And the first time any person would read that, they would say, like, all right, this person doesn't know how to write.
mm-hmm.
And you need to then know, okay, let me pay for the service that actually has somebody edit my personal statement, or let me pay for the service that has somebody go through my application and do something with it, or go through one of the services that says, you have this, and this red flag. We need to address 2 of them at least. and that does help out a ton too.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. That's fantastic advice. And I hope all our listeners out there, our current students, take heed of what we just heard from Dr. Nick and Dr. Parag. And congratulations to you both, and a lot of success in the years ahead. We wish you all, both of you, that. And please do remember, as you go along your journey, try to help out as many St. James students as you can, as well as help as many IMGs as you can, because we're all in the same boat at the end of it.
Oh, yeah, we know the struggle.
Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning into our show. We hope you enjoyed another episode of Med School Minutes. If you like our content, please follow us and receive notification when a new show is posted. This podcast is brought to you by St. James School of Medicine. For a video version of this podcast, please check us out on sjsm.org/video.